Many senior women ask a very uncomfortable question. Why do I still smell bad even though I'm clean? Doctors are now warning that it's not about soap, not about perfume, and not about age alone. The real cause is hidden in daily bathroom habits that silently damage the body's natural balance. And today, I'm going to expose 4 common bathroom mistakes that make older women smell bad, plus one final habit that can completely reverse the problem. If you're over 50, this information is critical. Many older women believe that frequent washing is the best defense against unwanted odor, but this belief is actually creating the very problem they are trying to avoid. The skin, especially in intimate areas, is designed to protect itself through a delicate ecosystem of beneficial bacteria. These friendly microbes act like a natural shield, controlling odor, causing organisms, and maintaining a healthy pH balance. When harsh soaps, antibacterial cleansers, or strong body washes are used repeatedly, this protective system is stripped away. What feels extra clean in the moment quietly removes the body's first line of defense. As women age, the skin naturally becomes thinner, drier, and more sensitive due to hormonal changes. This makes the area far less tolerant to aggressive cleansing products. Many popular soaps are highly alkaline, while the body's intimate areas are meant to stay slightly acidic. Every time an alkaline soap is used, the pH shifts in the wrong direction. This creates an open invitation for odor-producing bacteria to grow faster and dominate. The result is not freshness, but a stronger and more persistent smell that seems to return no matter how often one washes. Another overlooked issue is the rise of antibacterial products marketed as medical grade or extra strength. These products do not distinguish between good bacteria and bad bacteria. They wipe out everything. When the beneficial bacteria are eliminated, harmful microbes quickly fill the empty space, often producing sulfur-like or fishy odors. This is why many women notice that the more aggressively they clean, the worse the smell becomes over time. The body enters a cycle of irritation, imbalance, and odor that feels impossible to escape. There is also the issue of microscopic skin damage. Harsh soaps weaken the skin barrier, allowing moisture to escape and irritants to enter. This dryness triggers inflammation, and inflammation changes the chemical environment of the skin. Bacteria thrive in inflamed tissue. Even without infection, this low-grade irritation alters natural scent and amplifies odor. Many women assume the smell means they need even stronger products, but that approach only deepens the imbalance. What's rarely explained is that cleanliness does not mean sterility. The body was never designed to be odorless through chemicals. It was designed to self-regulate. Gentle cleansing with mild, non-irritating products supports this process rather than sabotaging it. When the natural microbiome is preserved, odor decreases on its own. This is why women who switch from harsh soaps to gentler cleansing methods often notice improvement within weeks, even without changing anything else. The most surprising part is this odor is often a sign of damage, not dirt. The skin is signaling that its protective system has been disrupted. Respecting that system allows balance to return. When balance returns, the smell fades naturally, without perfumes, sprays, or constant washing. The body does not need to be fought. It needs to be supported in the way it was designed to function. Many senior women unknowingly create odor problems by limiting their water intake, especially around bathroom routines. The common fear is simple and understandable: drinking more water means more bathroom trips. Over time, this habit quietly trains the body to function in a dehydrated state. When hydration drops, the body concentrates waste products instead of flushing them out efficiently. This concentration directly affects urine, sweat, and skin secretions, making odors sharper, heavier, and harder to ignore. As the body ages, the kidneys become less efficient at filtering toxins. Adequate water is essential to support this process. When water intake is low, waste products such as urea and ammonia become more concentrated. These compounds have a naturally strong smell. Even with perfect hygiene, concentrated waste will produce noticeable odor. This is why some women notice a strong smell immediately after using the bathroom, even when everything appears clean. Dehydration also affects the skin from the inside out. Water helps maintain skin elasticity and barrier function. Without enough hydration, the skin becomes dry and fragile, allowing odor, causing compounds to linger longer on the surface. Dry skin cannot shed bacteria effectively, which means smells stay trapped instead of being released and neutralized. This effect is amplified in intimate areas where airflow is limited and moisture balance is critical. Another overlooked factor is the effect of dehydration on sweat. When the body lacks water, sweat becomes thicker and more concentrated. Thicker sweat provides more nutrients for bacteria, which then break it down into odor-producing byproducts. Even mild perspiration can begin to smell strong under these conditions. Many women assume this is a hygiene issue, but the real issue started hours earlier with insufficient fluid intake. There is also a direct connection between hydration and the body's natural detox systems. Water supports the liver and lymphatic system, both of which play key roles in eliminating waste. When these systems slow down due to dehydration, toxins remain in the body longer and are expelled through alternative routes such as sweat and skin. This shifts the body's scent profile in an unpleasant direction. No amount of external cleaning can override an internal backlog of waste. A subtle but powerful issue occurs when women avoid drinking water later in the day to prevent nighttime bathroom trips. This leads to long hours of dehydration, especially during sleep when the body performs critical repair and detox functions. Waking up with strong odor is often the result of concentrated waste sitting in the body overnight without adequate dilution. The smell is not random. It is a signal that the body was undersupported. Proper hydration does not mean forcing large amounts of water all at once. Consistent, steady intake throughout the day keeps waste diluted, skin supported, and bacteria in check. When the body has enough water, urine becomes lighter, sweat becomes less pungent, and skin odors naturally soften. Many women are surprised to notice improvement within days once hydration is addressed correctly. The body was designed to cleanse itself efficiently when given the right conditions. Water is not just a beverage, it is a regulatory tool that controls odor at its source. When hydration is restored, the body stops sending distress signals through smell and begins to rebalance itself quietly and naturally. Many women reach for scented sprays, wipes, powders, and fragranced washes believing they are solving an odor problem, but these products often create deeper and longer lasting imbalances. The immediate burst of fragrance gives a false sense of cleanliness, yet beneath that scent the body's natural chemistry is being altered. The intimate area is designed to maintain a very specific pH level, and even small disruptions can shift bacterial populations in the wrong direction. When fragranced products are applied, they interfere with this balance almost instantly. As women age, the tissue in sensitive areas becomes thinner and more reactive due to hormonal changes. What once caused no reaction can now trigger irritation, dryness, or micro-inflammation. Fragrances contain chemical compounds that are foreign to the skin, and the body responds defensively. This defensive response changes the local environment, allowing odor-producing bacteria to thrive. Ironically, the stronger the scent applied, the more aggressive the body's reaction becomes. One of the most damaging aspects of scented products is their effect on beneficial bacteria. These bacteria act as silent regulators, producing natural acids that keep harmful microbes under control. Fragranced wipes and sprays often contain alcohols, preservatives, and artificial scents that wipe out these protective organisms. Once they are reduced, harmful bacteria quickly multiply and produce stronger odors than before. This explains why the smell often returns quickly after using scented products, sometimes even worse within hours. Another hidden problem is sensory confusion. Fragrance masks odor rather than eliminating its source. This makes it difficult to detect early signs of imbalance or infection. By the time the scent no longer hides the smell, the underlying issue has already progressed. Many women then respond by increasing product use, creating a cycle of irritation, masking, and worsening odor. The more one tries to cover the smell, the more the natural system is disrupted. Repeated exposure to scented products also weakens the skin's protective barrier. When this barrier is compromised, moisture balance is lost. Too much moisture encourages bacterial growth, while too little causes dryness and cracking. Both conditions intensify odor. The skin becomes less capable of self-regulation and more dependent on external products. Yet those same products are the source of the problem. There is also a psychological layer that keeps this habit in place. Social pressure and embarrassment push women to prioritize scent over health. Many products are marketed with language that suggests fragrance equals cleanliness. In reality, the body does not require artificial scent to remain healthy. Natural balance produces a neutral, mild smell that does not need to be covered. When fragrance becomes necessary, it is often a signal that balance has already been lost. What surprises many women is how quickly the body begins to correct itself once fragranced products are removed. Within a short period, irritation decreases, beneficial bacteria begin to recover, and odor gradually softens. The body has an incredible ability to self-correct when interference stops. Freshness achieved through balance lasts longer than anything achieved through scent. The most important shift is understanding that odor control is not about adding something artificial, but about removing what disrupts natural regulation. When the body is allowed to restore its own chemistry, the need for masking disappears and confidence returns without relying on fragrance. Many older women focus heavily on cleansing products while overlooking the powerful role that airflow and clothing choices play in odor control. The environment surrounding the body after bathroom use can either support balance or quietly encourage bacterial growth. Tight clothing and synthetic fabrics trap heat and moisture, creating conditions where odor-producing bacteria multiply rapidly. Even when hygiene is excellent, this trapped environment can undo those efforts within hours. Synthetic underwear and tight, fitting garments prevent proper ventilation. Unlike natural fibers, synthetic materials hold moisture against the skin instead of allowing it to evaporate. Moisture combined with warm forms an ideal breeding ground for bacteria and yeast. As these microorganisms break down sweat and skin secretions, they release compounds responsible for unpleasant odors. Many women are surprised to learn that the smell they notice later in the day did not start in the bathroom, but in what they wore afterward. As women age, changes in skin thickness and oil production make moisture regulation more difficult. The body becomes less efficient at maintaining a dry, balanced surface. When airflow is restricted, even small amounts of moisture linger longer than they should. This prolonged dampness alters the skin's natural chemistry and encourages bacterial dominance. The longer moisture remains trapped, the stronger the odor becomes, regardless of cleanliness. Another overlooked factor is the habit of staying in damp clothing after bathing or bathroom use. Remaining in moist underwear or tight garments keeps the skin in constant contact with humidity. This delays the skin's ability to return to its normal state. Over time, this repeated exposure conditions bacteria to thrive, making odor a recurring issue rather than an occasional one. Simply allowing the area to fully dry before dressing can make a noticeable difference. Airflow also affects temperature regulation. When the body overheats in restricted clothing, sweat production increases. Sweat itself is odorless, but when broken down by bacteria, it becomes pungent. Tight garments accelerate this process by keeping sweat close to the skin. Many women mistake this for a hormonal or hygiene issue when the true trigger is mechanical and environmental. Nighttime habits play a role as well. Wearing tight sleepwear or synthetic fabrics to bed limits overnight ventilation. During sleep, the body undergoes repair and detox processes, and temperature naturally fluctuates. Without airflow, moisture builds up for hours. Waking up with odor is often the result of prolonged moisture exposure during sleep rather than anything that occurred the night before. The body responds remarkably well when given space to regulate itself. Loose, fitting clothing and breathable fabrics, such as cotton, allow air circulation and moisture evaporation. This reduces bacterial activity and helps restore a neutral scent. Many women notice improvement simply by changing underwear type or clothing fit without altering any other routine. What seems like a minor wardrobe choice can quietly influence odor all day long. Supporting airflow is not about comfort alone. It is a biological necessity. When the skin can breathe, bacteria lose their advantage, moisture stabilizes, and odor diminishes naturally. The solution often lies not in adding products, but in removing barriers that prevent the body from maintaining its own balance. As women move into later stages of life, subtle internal changes begin to influence the body in ways that are rarely discussed openly. One of the most significant shifts involves hormones, particularly the natural decline in estrogen. Estrogen plays a critical role in maintaining tissue strength, moisture, and bacterial balance. When levels drop, the protective lining of sensitive areas becomes thinner and less resilient. This change alters the environment that once supported beneficial bacteria, allowing odor-producing microbes to gain the upper hand. The loss of protective bacteria is not sudden, which is why many women feel confused when odor issues seem to appear gradually without a clear cause. Beneficial bacteria are responsible for producing natural acids that keep harmful organisms under control. As these bacteria decline, the pH level rises, and this shift creates a favorable environment for microbes that produce stronger and more noticeable odors. This process can occur even when hygiene routines are consistent and thorough. Another important factor is reduced circulation to the skin as the body ages. Healthy circulation delivers oxygen and nutrients that support tissue repair and immune defense. When circulation slows, the skin's ability to regenerate and defend itself weakens. Waste byproducts linger longer in tissues instead of being efficiently removed. These byproducts can alter natural scent and contribute to persistent odor that does not respond to external cleaning methods. The immune response also changes with age. The body becomes slower to regulate bacterial overgrowth and inflammation. Low-grade inflammation may exist without pain or obvious symptoms, yet it significantly impacts odor. Inflamed tissue produces chemical signals that bacteria feed on, increasing odor production. This explains why some women experience recurring odor despite normal test results and no clear infection. Metabolic changes add another layer. Detoxification pathways involving the liver and kidneys become less efficient over time, especially when hydration and nutrition are not optimal. When internal detox slows, the body redirects waste elimination through the skin. This shift subtly changes body odor and makes smells more persistent. External products cannot correct an internal bottleneck of waste processing. Stress and sleep disruption further influence this process. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which affects immune balance and bacterial control. Poor sleep interferes with nighttime repair mechanisms, allowing imbalances to deepen. These factors quietly compound hormonal changes, making odor issues more pronounced during periods of fatigue or emotional strain. What often surprises women is how responsive the body can be when these root factors are supported. Gentle care, hydration, reduced irritation, and lifestyle adjustments create conditions where beneficial bacteria can recover. When internal balance improves, the skin begins to regulate itself more effectively and odor softens without forceful intervention. The body communicates through signals long before disease develops. Persistent odor is one such signal, reflecting shifts in hormones, bacteria, circulation, and detox capacity. Understanding this transforms the experience from embarrassment to awareness. When the underlying systems are supported, the body gradually returns to a state of quiet balance, and the issue resolves at its source rather than being chased on the surface. Many women spend years blaming themselves for changes in body odor, believing it is a personal failure or a sign of poor hygiene. In reality, the body is communicating a shift that deserves attention, not shame. Odor is often one of the earliest signals that balance has been disrupted. When this signal is ignored or masked, the underlying causes continue to grow stronger. Understanding this changes the entire approach from fighting the body to listening to it. The body operates as an intelligent system, not a collection of separate parts. Bathroom habits, hydration, clothing choices, product use hormones, and internal detox pathways all interact continuously. One area is stressed, another compensates. Odor appears when compensation reaches its limit. This is why quick fixes rarely work and why the issue often returns after temporary improvement. Sustainable change comes from restoring conditions that allow the body to regulate itself. Many women feel pressure to seek stronger solutions, harsher products, or constant reassurance. This pressure often comes from social expectations rather than biological reality. The body does not need to be sterilized or scented to function properly. It needs support, consistency, and respect for its natural design. Once this perspective shifts, the fear surrounding odor begins to dissolve, replaced by clarity and control. Small, intentional changes have a cumulative effect. Gentle care preserves protective bacteria. Adequate hydration supports detox and tissue health. Breathable clothing allows moisture regulation. Reduced irritation calms inflammation. Together, these actions send a powerful message to the body that it is safe to rebalance. The response is often subtle at first, but over time it becomes unmistakable. Odor softens, confidence returns, and daily routines feel less stressful. There is also an emotional component that cannot be ignored. Worry itself influences the body through stress hormones, which affect immune balance and bacterial regulation. When fear and embarrassment are reduced, the nervous system shifts into a calmer state. This alone improves circulation, digestion, and detox efficiency. The body responds not just to what is done physically, but to the mental environment in which those actions occur. Many women are surprised to discover that once balance is restored, the need for constant monitoring disappears. The body begins to maintain stability without constant intervention. What once required attention throughout the day becomes a non-issue. This is not because the body was forced into submission, but because it was allowed to function as intended. The most important realization is that aging does not mean inevitable decline in freshness or dignity. Changes are real, but they are manageable. When the body's signals are understood and addressed at the root, it responds with resilience. Odor is not a life sentence, it is a message. When that message is respected, the body moves back toward equilibrium quietly and naturally, restoring comfort and confidence without struggle.